Alright, so in this problem what we're going to do is looking at quadratic equations, and we're going to use quadratic equations in order to solve a problem. Okay, so here we've got a problem. We've got a rectangle with an area of 24 meters squared. Okay, we're told that its length is 5 meters longer than its breadth, and we need to determine the dimensions of the rectangle. So in order to do this, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to draw a diagram to help me picture this problem. Okay, so here I've got my rectangle. We're told that the area of this rectangle is 24 meters squared. So I'm going to put a little note in the middle that it's 24 meters squared. Now we need to find the dimensions of this rectangle. So what we're going to do is, first of all, we're going to let a variable, and we're going to call that x, let x be the breadth of the rectangle. Okay, so we've now said let x be the breadth of the rectangle. So now we've got a dimension, we can add that to our diagram. So I'm going to say this side here is x meters long. Now we can also work out what the length is going to be. So because we're told that the length is 5 meters longer than its breadth, if the breadth is x, that means that our length is going to be x plus 5. So we can now write that. Therefore, the length is equal to x plus 5. Now we've got a rectangle, and we know the length and the breadth and the area. And so the area of a rectangle is equal to the length times the breadth, length times breadth. And so that means that it's going to be equal to x plus 5 times x. And we've now got an equation. Now we're also told the area is 24 meters squared. And so what we can now do is I'm going to rearrange this, and I'm going to say that x times x plus 5 is equal to 24, our area. And now we can expand this quadratic equation, and then we're going to solve it for x. So I'm going to run through that process. So in order to expand this equation, we say x times x is x squared. X times 5 is 5x. We know that our area is 24, so that's going to remain equal to 24. And now we can write that in our standard form. X squared plus 5x minus 24 is equal to 0. And so all we've done is a little bit of manipulation, and we've got our area of our rectangle. We've said that that's equal to 24. We've expanded our equation, and now we've written that quadratic equation in the standard form. So x squared plus 5x minus 24 equals 0. Now to solve this, you'll remember that what we're looking for is a number that multiplies to give 24, or negative 24, but adds to give 5. And so if we write down some factors of 24, we'd have 24 and 1, we'd have 12 and 2, we'd have 8 and 3, and so then in order to get negative 24, we'd have to have negative 24 and 1, or 24 and negative 1. We'd have to have positive 12 and negative 2, and those aren't going to get us to 5x. But our 8 and our 3, we can make a combination of 8 and 3, which is going to get us our 5x. And so what we're actually looking for is a positive 5x. So I'm going to use positive 8 and negative 3 as my two factors. And so that means that when I've got these two factors of 24, I've got 8 times negative 3 gives me negative 24, and I've got 8 plus negative 3 gives me 5. I can rewrite this now as a series of factors. So I can now say that this is x plus 8 times x minus 3 equals 0. And we can solve this using our null factor law, meaning that therefore x plus 8 must equal 0, or x minus 3 must equal 0. And so once we've got this in its factorised form, we can, let me get rid of that. Once we've got this in its form, we can solve this. And so therefore, x must equal either -8 or x must equal +3. Now our final step is to make sure that this actually makes sense. Remember, we're calculating here the breadth of the rectangle. The breadth of the rectangle cannot be -8. So therefore we can discard this solution and say that our breadth of our rectangle must be x is equal to 3. So back up here to our rectangle. Therefore, x is equal to 3. So our breadth equals 3, and our length, we can go back to our statement over here, length is equal to x plus 5, must equal 8. And we can check this. If our breadth is 3 and our length is 8, then our length is 5 meters longer. Okay, 8 is 5 meters longer than our breadth. And 3 times 8 gives us 24 meters squared. And so by checking this, by putting it back into our problem, we can actually see that a length of 8 meters and a breadth of 3 meters makes sense in our solution. And we've solved that. We've found our variables, we've found our possible values of x by solving the quadratic equation.